Hi everyone, you're very welcome to this week's lecture. This week we are going to be talking about using PowerPoint. The learning outcomes that we're going to address in this class are to demonstrate competency in application of basic computing skills. That's pretty much building on what we did with Word. You'll hopefully see some similarities there. And also to use the knowledge and skills acquired to promote personal and career development. There will be times, probably for many of you, that you will be asked to a presentation for whatever reason, one reason or another. And I suppose what I'm just looking to do here is just to give you like a basic grounding and proficiency in using PowerPoint, so that when that time comes, that you can hit the ground running with that. Okay, what we're going to do is we are going to use this as part of an assessment. It'll be 20%. I'll put up those details on your Moodle page, so you'll see them in your assignment block, information block at the top. Don't worry about it too much, okay, really. I'll confirm the date with you for submission. But what I want to do is I also want to work on this in the class and the live day. So I'm hoping that you'll actually get a lot of the work done on that day as well, amongst the other things that we're going to be doing. I want that day to be really practical and a really good use of your time, okay? But I want you to look at this and pay attention to it so that you can hit the ground running with that on the live day. Okay, but we'll go through it piece by piece, all right? Okay, so the first thing I want to do though, before I go into giving you a demonstration, I'm just going to really quickly discuss some of the things that maybe you should avoid. All right, now I think it's kind of obvious when you see it, but sometimes it's difficult when you're working on something. You can find yourself lost in it and make a mistake of having it a bit busy. Okay, obviously that's a little difficult to read there now. This one here, somebody's obviously put quite a lot of effort into it, but again, too much going on there. Also as well, often people make they might insert an infographic or something like that to back up their presentation, but it's not necessarily the most appropriate format for it. Too difficult to read. Likewise with the temptation of putting too much information on. Often people like to think that their slides can be used afterwards as notes. That might be the case with a class like this, but for a presentation in a work scenario to a group, it's not ideal at all. Okay. Contrast as well. Obviously, that's really difficult to read, but just bear it in mind and always think of your audience. Always think of people who might have issues with their sight, colour blindness, whatever it might be. So just always bear in mind who's looking. Now, I'm just going to show you this one here for a minute. Okay, this actually isn't bad in that somebody obviously spent quite a bit of effort on it. So I'm not mocking it, but I'm just saying sometimes effort does not necessarily mean that you're going to get the best result. I mean, they just use an awful lot of effects here, and it's a little difficult. You know, it's a bit busy. They're mixing up their effects. It's not so easy to read. By the time they're done, it actually has a lot of information on the screen, and that would be difficult for people to follow in a room. I mean, bear in mind you're looking from a distance, you know. So yeah, no, too much going on there. Just the other thing as well, just to watch out for the things that aren't overlapping with each other in a sort of a slightly cramped way. You see there's bullets there now. They changed the bullet points here. I think they use a different style a little bit later on. Consistency is the thing. See there, it's overlapping on the picture there, but also different bullet styles. There it is again there. Okay, so as I say, just you don't need to use all the bells and whistles. You can keep it really simple when it comes down to it. Okay, so we'll go back in here now. I have put on some examples of some nice designed PowerPoint presentations. Now, bear in mind, I know these aren't a presentation live in front of like a speaker where they're accompanying the speaker. They're just for viewing online, but at the same time, they've nice colour schemes. They've nice things going on there. So maybe have a look at those if you get a chance, or if you're interested. They're on your Moodle page as well. I'm going to go through what the do's and the don'ts are next. Okay. Bear in mind that these are the things I'm going to be looking for in the assignment. I'll mark it clearly for you what to do, okay? Slides support the content of the script, okay? Unlike what I'm doing here, where I'm reading from it, if you're doing a presentation, you would just have bullet points to your speech. You want to keep the consistent, nice, clear background. You want to use pictures and images, but just make sure that they add to what you're doing, and be aware of the different kind of fonts to use as well. Contrast, easy to read. Keep these animations and the transitions present to help the flow. This is an animation basically, just when you're doing a reveal here. Transitions, I'll show you that a little bit later on. Okay, the don'ts are fairly obvious. It's the opposite of what I just discussed there, pretty much. Right. Okay. Now your images, I just would say with your images, you do want them. I definitely think it's something to use and to bear in mind, and you'll be asked to do it in the assessment. But just be careful about them and try not to use kind of cliche clip art. Also, as well, be aware of licensing. This is a class exercise, so don't really worry about that too much now. But in general, in your working life, be aware of places where you might get some free sources online. The copyright is open for you there, so just be aware of that. Okay, and when you're doing your design there, just be aware of the contrast. Keep it in mind. There are some templates that you can use on PowerPoint, which we'll look at, but also as well, you can copy other people's color schemes, and I'll show you how to do that as well. So use other people's expertise. You don't have to invent the wheel, you know. Okay, this is going to be a part of it as well. I will discuss this with you about using your notes. There's a little notes section in PowerPoint that allows you to write a script that will support what you have on your slides. I'm going to build a little really simple site now just when I'm finished here, and you'll see what I mean by that. But that's an important element of the assessment as well, so just pay attention to that. Okay, notes view. Font, okay, 24 to 30 point, no smaller than. That is the given. To be perfectly honest, I think 24 is too small. If you really need to think about cramming the words on and fussing about the size of the font, it's too small. Okay, you've got too much on there, I would say. So keep it simple. And the other thing is to be aware of is the different kind of fonts to use. Fonts to use are the ones to avoid, really, to bear that in mind. Okay, the ones that you would use maybe in your word processing documents, Arial, Helvetica and the like. So I'm going to want you not to do them in your presentation. Okay, just so that I know that you've aware of that fact. Okay, it's not a Word document. People don't want to see it as that. It kind of turns them off what you're trying to get across, so which is the goal at all times. Okay, transitions and animations. Okay, fading between slides, simple. Keep it simple would be my feeling on it. I just would stick with the fades where you can. Sound effects, I would say avoid. I can't really see a situation. I mean, if you're doing a video in a presentation or something like that, obviously you might need sound, but as regards sound effects for the written word, I would err on the side of leaving it. Okay, I'll have other resources here now for you. There'll be links up on your Moodle page as well. But yeah, have a look at these and see. Okay, and see they should help you out as well. Okay, so what I'm going to do next is I'm just going to build a really simple site, 3-page PowerPoint presentation. I'm going to take you through it so you can have an idea about how to start building one yourself, just as an example. Okay, so I'm just going to take you through some of the elements now that some more basic elements of PowerPoint and some of the tricks that you can use, and it'll basically all feed into what I'm going to be asking you to do in the assignment as well. You'll notice here, I've just got a new blank document here. I'll just quickly take you through the ribbon bar menu up at the top here. Home, you'll notice, is very similar to Word. I'm just going to put something in here now. I'm just going to insert a little text box in. IT skills. Okay, so if I do that now, you can see it's got the font type, the font size, it's got the alignment. That's all very similar. Insert, we might insert a picture or text boxes. The other thing is design, little templates here. Animations and transitions, that's where you have a fade into the slide or the animation where you might have a bullet point list revealed one thing at a time. We'll do that a little bit later again. I just want to make a quick point though about the design up here. If you just have a look, just be careful that you don't necessarily choose like a busy background. Just to be aware of that kind of thing, and maybe not something that's instantly recognizable as a PowerPoint template. it's supposed to be sitting behind whatever you're doing. So just bear that in mind. Okay, just keep it behind, but try not to have anything too busy, I would say. And the other thing is that even though these are designed by somebody else, it doesn't necessarily mean that the design element is ideal. And so, you know, you want to make sure that their font size, their default font, if I see it here right, I've chosen this template, but this font, their default font is this one here, the Calibri, for if that's how you pronounce it. But remember, I was saying to avoid the ones that you would tend to see, certain ones to avoid that you might see in Word documents. You want something a little bit more graphic, something a little more different there in that way, okay? So just bear that in mind. Let's get rid of this here now. Okay, so if I do IT skills here, that's a nice one. That's grand. If I go to home, I can see it's a different one there. You can change them if you like as well. Okay, now for the purposes of this exercise though, is I want to do my very own template. Okay, I don't want to use any of these. I'm going to do a new blank template here. Okay, I'm even going to get rid of their text boxes, just so that you know how to do it yourself without using the templates. Once you know that, you can maybe manipulate the other their templates. So I'm going to do this. I am going to change the background of this is the first thing I'll do. So if you go into that design tab, you're going to live here quite a bit to say, aside from the templates, I'm just going to build it myself. If I go to format background here, you see I can do a solid fill, and I'm going to change that to say I'm going to go pretty simple here, not completely black. Okay, so very simple. Now I'm going to go to insert. I want to put some writing in, so I'm going to put in a text box. I'll put in IT skills. Now, as I say, I don't want that font, so I'm going to put in a Century Gothic. I think is fine. As I say, one sans serif. I will put that up on Moodle for those of you who aren't sure what a sans serif is. It's one so that's the sort of the like Times New Roman without the extra kind of extra curves and the like. Something really, really simple, really, really graphic. Now don't be shy about making a large size here. I'm going to make that big, 120. Be thinking of the people in the back of the room. I'll change the colour. Now I'm on my home tab. Remember, it's all the same. Very similar, so I'll just make that bigger there. Say I want a subheading in here. I'll just go and insert again, and I'm going to put in a text box. And I'm going to call this PowerPoint, I suppose. PowerPoint demo. Okay, we'll make it bigger. Go to it up here, maybe you can see it a bit more simply. Okay, just make it big, maybe that big. And I'm going to change the colour now. I'm not actually going to make it white. I'm just going to do it slightly off. Okay, different. Okay, so there's my first page. Nothing too much, pretty simple. Okay, I'm going to do the next page now. Okay, so I want to have some sort of a consistency of design. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually just going to take this text box that's here. Now what I want to do is I'm going to try and make that the same colour as the first page there. So if I just double click on it here, you see over here at the side again we got a solid fill. I'm just going to do the same thing. I don't want it exactly the same. I think I've made it slightly lighter than that. Okay, maybe sort of a grayer. Okay. And I'm going to call this the basics. Now, here we go. I'll keep the writing the same, why not? And a good big size. Okay. So that's there like that. Okay, so in here I'm just going to put in, look, really short amount of content here. So we'll do the basics, add slides, which I've just done. I just clicked return to do the slide there. Add in your content. And keep. Okay. So I'm just going to select that now and I'll change it again. Century Gothic, keep it all the same. I would just say it's a good rule of thumb now to keep the text boxes nice and tidy around these things as well. Just makes it easier when you're moving things around on the page. I'd make that bigger now. I mean, that's 28. I think it's a 24 on the slides. PowerPoint slides, I said 24 is the smallest amount, but that really is the absolute smallest. Generally, go for bigger. So people in the back of the room will be able to see it. Okay, there we go. Just make this a little bit bigger. You can manipulate it around there like that. But let's just leave it at that for the minute, okay? All right. I'm going to go on to the next thing now. We'll worry about animating that in a minute. I'm just clicked on this. You see I selected this second slide here. If I just click on return, it brings it down to number 3. So there we go. What I want to do is I want to copy this heading. So I'm going to do my Control C shortcut. Okay, and I'm just going to paste it in here. Control V. I just put it in. But you see by doing that now, it's just in exactly the same place. I just copied it, selected it, I copied it, and then I was just on the slide and clicked paste, and it was in exactly the same place. Now I'll just change the writing to something I would like. And I think this one we'll do adding a picture maybe. I'll do capital P, keep it consistent. Capital letters where capital letters should be or not. Just keep everything the same. As I say, same bullet points or whatever it might be. Okay, I'm going to get rid of this. I'm going to do another little subheading here. For example, we'll just quickly work our way through this. It's repetition here now. You'll notice I'm doing things very similar. But you'll get in the swing of it just as legal databases. Let's call that that. Again, I'm going to make that bigger. There's 2. Just make this around and then you'll see it moves around there. Oh, century. Now there you go, century. I made that mistake. That's a serif. I don't want that one actually. I wanted sans serif. Bigger. I'm going to change that text box. So I've right clicked on it, or I could just double click on it there, whatever it takes to get it out there now. Okay, I'd say most people would prefer doing it this way. If you double click on it, it opens up this to the side. I'm going to solid fill. I'll go in here. I'm going to go here. Okay. There's my legal databases. Okay. Okay, I've just added in another couple of things there now. Just had to fill out the page. The other thing I want to do is I want to insert a picture. So I could go here and I could insert a picture through here, through my photo album, pictures through here, clip art. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to pick something from online. As I say, look, this is a class exercise. Don't worry too much about it. It's going to go for a legal image. Put something in. That one. Okay, do right click, copy image. And then I'm just going to pop it back in here. Control V. There you go. Again, it's like Word. You can make it bigger, you can make it smaller, whatever it might be. Depends on the importance of it compared to this. Maybe that's a little large next to the writing there. You have to have a little think about the balance of importance of what's on the page there. Okay. If I wanted to, I could insert a shape here also as well. That's another thing. If you want arrows, just be careful again doing too many animations and that kind of thing. But just, you can put them in if it serves your purpose, whatever it might be. And again, if I click on that, that's highlighted. If you see over here again, you can change the colour of it there. Okay, so listen, this is how it looks now at the minute. Really, really, really simple. Okay, if you go up to the top here, do you see here that little button there? Now I'll show you again in a moment. Basically, that brings it up to full screen. And if I go through it, these are my slides. This is how they look. Now, The only problem with that is that they're a bit static. They kind of jerk a little bit. If you do these transitions, I'm going to click here to here. I want to transition between this screen to this screen. Okay, so the second one I want to transition, I'm just going to do a nice little fade. Okay, so if I go back up to this button here, starting from the beginning, you see the way that slides in. It's a little bit nicer, a little bit more gentle. Okay, the other thing is I can do these as a lift. I'm going to do an animation. So we've done a transition gently from one screen to another, and I'm selecting this, and I want to do another fade. I just keep it to fade, to be honest. Okay, to be on the safe side, keep it nice and simple. It's up to you though, but just be aware, keep it simple. So I'm going to go to animations, sorry, and I'm going to go to fade. Now, if I go up here, right, that has 1, 1, 1, 1, and 1. Depends on what kind of a version of PowerPoint that you have. Okay, if I look at it, I do it like this, it just does it all in one go. That's actually not what I want. So, I mean, you can click on them and delete them if you want, one at a time. So, I'm just going to leave that first one there, okay? Then I'm just going to, no, I'm going to delete that because it's the whole text box, sorry. I just highlight the line, fade in. Some of you will have versions that will do this automatically if you select the whole thing, and you'll see that it's done it right because you see the numbers are on it. Just in my version here, I just need to do it one at a time. If you've any problems doing any of these things, will you let me know? One of the reasons for doing this in the workshop in the day is that I'll be able to see all the different versions of it. I know some of you had issues with Word using different versions, but this way I'll be able to make sure that I know exactly what you're all working with. Okay, so if I do it like this, there we go. Okay. Just the other thing is you could, now as I say, be careful. You know, some of them can be a little bit ugly. Float in, maybe. You know, could possibly use that. If you look down, you can tell it what direction to take. So play around with that if you want, but as I say, just be careful. So just the last element actually I don't want to touch on here, which is just feeding into the assignment, but we'll discuss that more on the day, is the notes view. Okay, so if I go to here, I go to view, and I go to notes page there. Okay, so basically what I will be asking is for you to add notes to support your slides when you come up with them. Okay, so what it's going to be is you would say on your first slide, every slide I would want something mentioned. So I would like say, hi, my name is, whatever it might be. Hello, my name is, and I'm here to speak to you today about whatever it is. Okay, then the next thing will be say the first topic we will discuss is whatever it might be. Again, adding slide, adding in your content. All I will want to see, I'll discuss this more with you on the day, but really it's very simple. I just need to see the fact that you know the notes pages are there, and that whatever is written there, it just demonstrates basically that you understand that whatever's on the slides is just there to back up whatever the speaker is saying. It's not the script. So really simple. It's just to kind of trying to get it into your minds that that's all I want there with that. Okay, so just do that for each and every one of those if you could. I'm going to post up here, you'll see it on your ITS assigned information page, the information on that. Okay, it'll be 20%. Again, it's very practical, not too much to it, just once you tick these boxes. Okay, so include 8 slides, put all 8 slides in. The script, a script note to accompany each slide. Now here I say don't use a pre-designed PowerPoint template. It's actually you must create all the elements yourself. No, I'm not going to hold you to that actually. Okay, but you'll get extra marks by demonstrating that you put some of your own thought in it as well. Okay, but you can absolutely use the design templates. Okay, I want to see pictures, consistency throughout. Have a look through this. Okay, I will go through it all with you. And I'll do another little demonstration maybe of it when it comes closer to the time so that you can review it. But basically have a look through this first. I'll put it up for you to have a look at, and we'll confirm on the live day on the 20th of February exactly when I'd like you to have it in by. Okay, I hope that was useful to you. Basically what I wanted to do, as I say, was just to give you a grounding on the PowerPoint. There's just a little note here now about some things you can expect from the live day, but I'll be in touch with you about it in the meantime. Please let me know if there's anything else, as usual, that you'd like me to clarify for you. Or if you have any ideas about anything you'd like covered on the day, I really would like to hear about that. Okay, basically, it's not something to worry about. Okay, I'm going to get as much work done for your assignments as possible and your assessments with your PowerPoint on the day. Your material referencing, I think you'll find extremely useful. I'll post up something for you to view in advance of the day, so you have an idea going in, and we'll do most of your project on that day. Typing test, look, that's a very simple thing. Okay, don't worry about the speed not being up. You'll get marks for your accuracy, you get marks for everything there. The general knowledge test, that's going to be open book, so to speak, so you'll have notes on Moodle there to look at, and also I'll have a glossary up there. It's not a memory test, it's just basically I want to remind you and draw your attention back to maybe to some of the elements and remind you of what we covered in the first classes. I know it's been a while, so that is really not something to even remotely worry about. Okay, that's just sitting there and looking and engaging with me on the day. Okay, so I hope that was helpful. As I say, please do be in touch, and I'll clarify anything that you need clarifying. And I'm looking forward to seeing you on the 20th. Welcome back after the break. Yeah, I'm looking forward to meeting you then. Take care, and I'll be in touch.